Since we have already discussed about the variable types and the operators, what we can use with the variables. And so let's see right now, if you wanted to convert one data type to another, is it possible for us to convert one data type to another? Or right now, if it is, how we can do it? Like now, that's what we need to figure it out right now. Okay, right. Beforehand, like just refresh our memories. We have learned that there are 8 type of primitive data types available. Can you quickly tell me what are the 8 types of primitive data types?
Byte short, int long, char
Yes, we have
double,
byte short,
int long,
int long,
char double,
char double,
boolean,
char boolean, float double, right? Okay. Then apart from that, we have discussed about string data type parcel. String is not a primitive data type. String is a reference data type. Right. Now again, we discuss about the memory taken for each variable. Right. Now it says if it is byte variable. Right now you know it is 1 byte. Right now if it is short variable, we know it is 2 bytes. Right now if it is an integer variable, we know that it takes 4 bytes. If it is a long variable, it takes 8 bytes. And if we take float and double, float takes 4 bytes. And double takes 8 bytes. And char takes how much? Char
bytes,
Yes, how many times? What is the size taken for the char?
2 bytes,
1 byte? It's a
2
one
bytes,
character, or it just store one character? Is it 1 byte?
4 bytes.
4 bytes. Okay. We said Java characters are what? Is it ASCII values or Unicode values or what?
ASCII.
Only the, is it support ASCII values only, or does it support
Yeah,
Unicode as well?
Unicode.
Sorry?
Unicode and ASCII.
Yes, if it is support ASCII is 8 bits, and Unicode, how many bits a Unicode? Right, in order to represent capital A in Unicode, how many bits required?
16,
Yes, Java characters or the char data type requires 16 bits in size. 16 bits. 16 bits means yes, Unicode requires 16 bits to represent a Unicode value. So, right, because the requirement is to represent the Unicode. Because the you know that the in order to represent the all human languages, we required Unicode. So 2 to the power 16 number of code words could be represented if you use the Unicode. And previously we had ASCII, extended ASCII used 8 bits, then 2 to the power 8 number of combinations only we could represent using ASCII. So 2 to the power 8 means the standard ASCII 1 to 8 combinations. and the extended ASCII 256 combination. That's why previously we could not have the code words for Sinhala fonts or the Tamil fonts, Hindi fonts, likewise for those fonts. And thereafter Unicode introduced, and the Unicode uses 16 bits. Then, therefore, right now we require 16 bits allocated for Java characters so that we could represent all human languages. Right. Now, but remember, most of the time, we do use less than 8 bits in order to save Java characters, but normally Java characters take 16 bits, that means 2 bytes. 2 bytes memory it uses. Right now, the Boolean. Java Boolean memory size, what is it?
1 bit.
Is it, how can we represent Booleans? Is it 0 and 1, or 1 and 0? How? Is it true, false? How do we represent the Boolean values? Is it zeros and ones?
True, false.
Right. Right now, therefore, right now, Boolean variables. Now, when you take, when you just remember the Boolean, you remember either true, false values, right? Now, in other terms, sometimes you might have think, okay, 0 and 1. If you just have to represent 0 and 1, 1 bit would be enough to just represent 0, 1, right? 1 bit would be enough. Then you can just think, okay, in order to store a Boolean variable, 1 bit would be enough. But actually, is it 1 bit? Right now, is it 1 bit? Right, some references you may see it is 1 bit, but if you refer to some other references, it might say 1 byte, right? Therefore, in Java also, in Java documentation also, it is not yet clearly defined. Normally, we can say Boolean variables according to the Java virtual machine. It is it may takes 1 byte, right? Right now, therefore, we can say 1 byte, right? So there may be you can search for it and then research for it, and then this might be 1 byte, right? Now string, then there is no specific limit for a string, right? Now it's a reference type variable, therefore there is no reference for the string type variables. Right now the problem is, right now, can we convert one data type to another data type? Now that's the problem, right? Can we convert one data type to another data type? Or does it convert automatically? That means will the data type get converted automatically? Right. Now we have discussed about Boolean, char, int, float, double, long, like as we have discussed right now. And every data type has different space requirements, memory space requirements. And then when you want to convert one data type to another data type, that means one value to a different variable. Right now, you need to make sure that whether the compatible types are mixed. If the types are not compatible, the compiler will give us an error. Right now, for that, right now, let's try out this. Okay, let's come up with the class first. Right now, let's say we have integer variable. Okay, let's say we have byte variable. Byte B contains 8, and we're gonna assign it to a short variable. Short s equals B, and then we're gonna print the short variable, right? Okay, inside the desktop, let's say we have test to Java. It says error println, yes, print. Right now it shows 8. Right now, yes, the variable byte variable had 8, and then we try to assign a short variable, the variable, the whatever the value the variable B contains into a short variable. Then we did not have any issue. Right now, let's try to swap this. Right now, short variable contains 8. We are trying to assign it to a byte variable. Right now, let's try to do this. Okay, quickly try out and tell me what's going to happen, whether is it possible. What is it? Is it possible? Was it possible? If yes or no, tell me quickly.
No.
Sorry? No.
Error. There's an error called
Error. What was the error?
reached end of file while pressing.
That is not the issue. Then you might have done some syntax errors. Now I should get a different error like this. What does it say? Incompatible types. Possible loosey conversion from short to byte. Now this can't be right because the short variable contains 8. So I'm trying to assign it to a byte variable. Then for sure byte variable can hold 8. But now it gives me an error. Can you give me the reason for it? Why it is not? Yes, anyone? What could be the reason now? Quickly tell me. Now, if you refer the previous one, you would be able to tell us what is the reason.
Because byte you use 1 byte and short use 2 bytes to store
Yes,
info.
in order to store a short variable from the memory, it requires 2 bytes size. Right now, in order to represent a short variable from the memory, it requires 2 bytes. Then what you are trying to do is a value which requires 2 bytes, right? Space. You are going to assign it to a variable which is byte which has very less size. Therefore, you will be getting an error saying loosey conversion from short to byte. Yes, you are, because short is 2 bytes, byte is 1 byte required memory size. So you will be getting a loosey conversion. Right now, previously, what we had was right now byte. We were trying to print a byte variable is 8, b equals 8. We are going to assign it to the short variable. Right now, we don't get this issue. Semicolon is missing. Yes. The reason behind that is now byte is 1 byte variable and short is 2 byte variable. Therefore, you are trying to assign a smaller one to the larger variable. Right now, there's no issues were displayed. It got compiled. Now, it's because of in Java, when it comes to data type conversion, right, there are two things happens. Right now, when you have the type conversion in Java, you have widening conversion and the narrowing conversion. Widening conversion to a narrowing conversion. Right. Now, widening conversion or automatic conversion. Now, we call it as automatic conversions. Right now, automatic conversion means when compatible types are mixed. When compatible types are mixed with an assignment operator. When compatible types are mixed with an assignment operator, the value of the right side is automatically converted to the type of the left side. Now remember, when compatible types are mixed with an assignment operator, byte and short, with assignment operator, then value of the right side, the value of the variable b get assigned or automatically converted to the type of the left side. Now this is what you call as automatic type conversion or widening conversion. Right. Now remember, when the compatible types are mixed, if you want, you can write down when compatible types are mixed with an assignment operator. When compatible types are mixed with an assignment operator, value of the right side automatically converted to the type of the left side. So you will be able to have the automatic type conversion. Now I want you to figure out and tell me whether is it possible from byte to short. Right? Now byte to short. Now quickly find out and tell me. And then byte to int. Right now you can find out from byte to short int and thereafter long. Byte to long. And thereafter byte to float. Whether it is possible from byte to double. Right now, quickly figure out and tell me. And also the same way. Now, obviously we know that short to byte cannot, right? Now we can't do from short to byte now because we got an error previously. We know that. Then here we can check for short to int, short to long, short to float, short to double. All right. Thereafter we can figure it out by integer to short cannot be done. All right. Integer to long, integer to float, integer to double. Is it possible? And then I want you to figure out long to float. Is it possible long to float or long to double? Is it possible? And thereafter float to double. Is it possible? Right. Quickly find out and tell me yes or no. I want you to send me via chat whether these are possible or not. I'll give you a few minutes. Quickly do it and let me know. Okay, in this scenario, okay, let's make this as a comment and then we don't want to print at the moment, so let it make it as a comment. Right now, byte to short, integer I, and long L, float F, double T. Right now, this is what I'm planning to do. Short int, long float double. Right now, okay, let's see whether it is possible. Right now, okay. Now nothing get printed because here I'm not printing any. I'm just putting this conversions only right now. So automatic type conversion happened. So widening conversion has happened. Right now, again, let's say now we have short variable. Short variable contains, let's say, 256 or 2560. Let's assign it to an integer, to a float, to a double, and see whether it is possible. Right now, that is also possible. No errors occurred. That means that is also possible. Right now, integer I is equals, let's say, okay, this number, and because I, right. So now nothing has happened. That is also possible. Right now, long variable to a, now for example, long variable, let's write like some big number like this. Now let's try to do it. Now you will get an error now. What does it say now? It's an integer number too large, right now, therefore, this number is taken as an integer. So it is too large to treat it as an integer. Now that's what it gives us. So we will have the a small right now. Let's say even if we have what is the can someone quickly find out and tell me the maximum value for the long variable can hold? A maximum value the long variable can hold. Quickly find out and tell me.
So in the equation equals to I, but it should be L.
Yes, yeah, that's you have to put L. I just want to figure out what is the maximum value a long variable can hold. You may have to search or ask from ChatGPT. What is it? I think we have discussed that it's 9 something, 9, not trillions, no, not quintillion or something, no? What is it? 9, starting from 9, I guess. Tell me quickly. Tell me the rest of the numbers. We have discussed at the day we discussed about the data types. I have already said that. If you have written down, you may have the answer with you. Tasanya has sent me the answer. Let me take a copy of it. Hope this is correct. Right. Now, this is what the largest number the long variable can hold, even if you put it right now, that cannot be held by large variable right now. Okay, now here we have to remove these commas. Right. So right now integer number too large because of we need to specify this as a long number. Therefore, remember we have to put L in order to indicate this is a long number. Right now, this would get sorted right now. Yes, now yeah, this has to be converted into a. We are trying to assign it to a long. Right. Okay. Right now, you can see it got converted. Therefore, a long to float and long to double also possible. But now I wanted to check out something right now. What is the long variable and what the float variable may contain and what the double variable contains? That I want to figure it out. Therefore, just put F and D. Right. Now we know that float is a single precision floating point and the double is a double precision floating point. So what happens is now even though the automatic type conversion happens, right? Now when you convert from byte to float or integer to float to double, byte to float to double, short to float to double, or long to float to double, what happens is automatic type conversion is happening, right? Keep that in your mind. Automatic type conversion is happening. But though the automatic type conversion happens from integers to float to double, float and double contains floating points. So the precision will be lost. Therefore, there might be a loss of precision due to how floating point numbers are represented. Right now, you can see that as well. Here you have the exactly this is the number we have in the long variable. But when you represent it using a float variable, this is how it represented. And when you represent it using a double variable, this is how it is representing. Therefore, now even though automatic type conversion happens, but there might be a possibility of losing the precision. Right. Okay. That you can see when you convert it to float. This is how it looks like, how it presented. This is how it is presented when you convert it to a long variable. Right now, okay. Now, in order to prove that the number has lost its precision, what I'm gonna do is right now. Okay. Now we have discussed only about automatic type conversions. No, right now, just I'm gonna keep this code. Right now, we need to prove you that how the when you convert into a float and double, how the precision might be lost. Right now, how you can see that. Now I'm gonna show you. Right. Before that, now let me finish it. Now we know that when we need to do the type conversion when compatible types are mixed. When compatible types are mixed with an assignment operator, right? The value of the right side is automatically converted to the type of the left side. Now that is what you call as automatic type conversion or the widening conversions. Right now, what are the automatic type conversions? Right now, what are the types we have to figure out? Then we can say it converts from, you can write down if you require, right? Byte to short. It converts from byte to short, byte to short, and thereafter short to int, thereafter integer to long, thereafter long to float, and thereafter float to double. Right now, there are few questions you should have asked now. If you are in physically and virtually, if you are in here, if you are joining to the session, then you should have asked this question or you should have get this question now. Because now you just said that automatic type conversion happens from long to float. Then how it is possible? The long variable takes 8 bytes of memory, though float variable takes 4 bytes of memory. So how the automatic type conversion happens from long to float? Right now, you should have asked that question, but you didn't ask, right? So I assume you don't need the answer for it because you didn't ask. Therefore, since you know that, that's why you didn't ask, right? So I'm going to skip it. Now we are back. Now this is what automatic type conversion. Automatic type conversion or widening conversion. Automatic type conversion or widening conversion happens. Byte to short, short to int, into long, long to float, float to double. Right. Now, if the automatic type conversion is not happening, right? If the automatic type conversion is not happening, right? Then if you really need to do the conversion, then we need to do the casting by ourselves, right? Then we need to force the casting. We need to do the casting by ourselves. We need to instruct compiler to do the casting, right? Therefore, we need to instruct the compiler to do the casting, right? Now, in order to do that, all right, now how can you do it? Right now, for an example, if you want to convert integer to float automatically happening now. Right now, integer to byte. Now we'll leave this for a while. Right, if we have integer variable, integer I equals, right, 8, and I want to assign it to the byte variable. Byte b equals I. Right now, when I try to do that, now this should give us an error saying this is not possible because when I try to do it, integer I equals I, byte b equals I, right? So when I try to do it, it will give me an incompatible type. So automatic type conversion not gonna happen. This is loosey conversion from integer to byte. So what I need to do is I need to, inside the brackets, I need to specify the type of the variable are required to convert. So I is an integer variable. I want to convert into a float. So I type it as float. Then what I'm doing is I do cast the type of the variable I to float. Then I assign it to, not a float, it's to byte, right? Like that. I'm trying to convert it to a byte. So I'm assigning it to a byte variable because I know that 8 can be held by the byte, right? So you can see I can do it now. The forcefully I am instructing, okay, convert this integer to a byte. Then this is narrowing conversion. This is narrowing conversion. This is what you call as data like casting in Java. I'm casting. I specify compiler to convert this type to a byte variable. Right now, even if, for an example, if integer variable may contain 800, right? So if I try to do convert it to a byte, now it is not possible, right? 800 cannot be stored inside the byte variable. So I will be getting, I will lose the data because I will lose the data because I was trying to convert integer to a byte. Then integer is a 4-byte variable, byte is a 1-byte variable. The range of the values byte can hold and integer can hold are two different. So when you try to convert integer to byte, you will lose. Okay, likewise, I want you to figure it out. The reverse of these, whether can you convert double to float, float to long, right, long to integer, right, double to float, like from the vice versa of this. Right now, double to byte, double to float, double to long, double to short, double to int, double to byte. Likewise, I want you to figure out and tell me whether it is possible for you to do the casting. Now, previously we did all these things, no? Right now, what I want you to do is from double to right, double to double, no point, right? Double to float, double to long, double in, double to short, float, long, in, short, double to byte. I want you to figure out this, whether it is possible. Now this time it is from float to byte, float to short, float to int, float to long, float to double automatically happening, right? Now I want you to figure out by how to convert from integer to byte. Now I just showed you integer to short, integer to int. We don't need it, right? Integer. Okay, first integer to int. We don't need it. Long to byte, long to short, long to int. Integer to byte, integer to short, short to byte. Right, now I want you to figure out whether how can you do the narrowing conversion. Right now this is about narrowing conversion. or typecasting. When incompatible types are mixed, you could do the narrowing conversion. Then quickly figure out whether you can do this narrowing conversion from this. And thereafter, I will show you that previously I said that now when you convert from float to long to float or byte to float, short to float, integer to float, or long to float or double, you will lose the precision of the number. Right now, let's figure it out once you do this. Okay, quickly do this and let me know. And thereafter, we will discuss how to prove when you convert integer to a float or double, how you lose the precision of the number. Right. Okay, then okay, let's get back to the problem where we had previously. Right now, this was the issue, right? Now we had a long variable. This is where I'm going to start. And then we had long variable assigned to a float and the long variable was assigned to a double variable. Right now, again, later on, let's say I want to assign this to a long variable, right? Now, initially, we'll try with the float. Okay, we'll do for the both. And again, I'm going to convert long L1 variable is equals to, I want to convert this float variable to a long, right? Now, I'm going to convert to the long type. Will it work? Just tell me. And the value is available in the variable left. And if I convert the long variable is L2, which the double variable value. Right. Now, initially, I'm going to print the long variable value L and convert it from float L1 and convert it from double L2. Right. Now, let's see whether it works. Right. Now, this is what I did here. This was the long variable first, and then we have converted back to a float variable, and then we converted to a double, and thereafter the float variable converted to a long, and the double variable converted to a double is D, right? This has to be D. Right. Then the double variable converted to a long. Right. Now, okay, now previously I was saying that the precision has been lost, right? But do you see that this has lost the precision? Here is the original long variable assigned to a float. And then I have converted it back to a long by converting the float variable value. Yes, now try it out and tell me whether you also getting the same answer, whether are we getting different answers likewise. Now here I have changed to some different number into 1, 2, 3. Right now I have changed to a different number 1, 2, 3. Let's say I am going to change it to 1, 2, 0. And then now you can see this was the number initially I have printed. When I convert back from float to long, I got a different one. When I convert from double to float, double to long, I got a different number. Right now you can see here both cases. Here, see, in the both scenarios, okay, the numbers are different. Initially it was 1, 2, 3. Now here last three digits were 1, 2, 0 and 1, 2, 3. But the final digits are the final, these two answers are the same. Right now, here we will say float to long. So double to long. Right now you can see initially it was 120. Now here I'm going to say 130 at the end. Okay, this has to be L2, right? Yes. Okay, now if it is 130, this is how it looks like. Now if it is 120, this is how it's look like, right? And now this is for 120 and 130. If it is 100, see the difference numbers, huh? Right now the same set of answers. Even I'm going to mention it as 4,100. Right, the same set like now here this is the same and this is different. Now I think this is enough for you to figure out now. This is when you have a long number, when you convert it to a float or when you convert it to a double, automatic type conversion happens. But when you convert back double to long or float to long, right, using casting, you won't get the exact number all the time because of the lost precision of the original value. Right now, because we have lost the precision of the loan. Right now, this is why I said that when you convert a whole number to a float to a double, you might lose the precision. I think that is clear for you, is it? Right? Is that clear? Any questions? Right, good. Okay, yeah, tell me. Yes, any questions? No, right? Right. So now we know that now how the casting works. Now then and there, whenever it requires for you to do the casting, right now we need to know. Right now, we have discussed about right now these automatic type conversion. Now we have discussed. Right now you know already about this. Right now, let's see. Right now, narrowing casting also we have done now, right? Narrowing casting is possible from the other way, no? From double to float. Double to float and float to long. And long to int. Integer to short. Float to byte. Right now, this is narrowing conversion happening, right? Converting a larger type to a smaller type. Converting a larger type to a smaller type. Now, this is what you call as the narrowing conversion. Just give me a minute. Sorry, I was talking all along, right, by keeping the microphone muted. Right now, I want you to quickly figure out now. Now we discuss about the numerical types, right? So, try to figure it out now from the characters. Now Java characters to these integer types or to floating point types, whether the type conversion happens. Or can we convert from character to numbers or numbers to characters likewise? Quickly figure out and tell me. And the same way, can we convert from these numbers to booleans or booleans to numbers? And also, can you convert numbers to string and string to numbers? Is it possible? Quickly figure out and tell me. Now, I don't want you to try for everything. Now, just try from integer to char or char to integer, and then long to integer, long to char, char to long, float to char, char to float, float to double, so double to char, char to double, and thereafter integer to boolean, float to boolean, and then integer to a string, string to integer, float to string, string to float. Likewise, try out quickly and tell me whether it is possible. And if it is not possible, we will discuss whether can we do that. Now I will show you how to do the char to integer, whether it is working. Right now, let's say we have a char variable ch, which equals capital A, which is, sorry, my bad. This is close. Right. Ch equals capital A. And right now I am going to try to convert it to an integer. Integer I equals ch. And then I wanted to print the I variable value. Right now, whether it is possible. Right now, you can see here, yes, bracket was missing now. Right now, here you can see when I try to do char to integer. Right now, char to integer. Right now, it is working. Char to integer. Right now, automatic type conversion happens from char to integer. Right now, because it gives us the ASCII value of the character. Capital A, ASCII value is 65. Right now, let me try to do it for char to byte. Is it working? Now you can see when I try to do the char to byte, it won't work. Right now, so char to byte cannot done. Therefore, you need to do the narrowing conversion. So narrowing conversion is possible from char to byte. If you want to do that right now, because 65 can be stored inside byte variable, right? So we can do it by narrowing conversion. Right now, short variable, char to short. Now you can see incompatible types, lose the conversion from char to short. Therefore, char to byte, char to short, char to byte is narrowing conversions. Right now, integer possible, right? Now, long variable. If it is long, char to long, yes, it is possible. Therefore, integer possible, long possible. Right now, let's say if it is a float variable, char to float. Right now, you can see 65.0. So it is possible and double. Right now, if it is double, you can see that is also possible. Right now, now you know that is possible now. Right. Right now, char to double also possible. Right now, automatic type conversion happens. Right now, we are done with this. Right now, Boolean. Let's say now we have Boolean variable. Boolean variable B, which is true, which is true, Right now, I want to convert into a byte and see whether it is possible. Right now, I want to print the byte variable. Now I am getting incompatible types, therefore cannot be converted to a byte. Now, this is cannot be converted to a byte. Right. Now you can see we cannot convert to a byte right now. Therefore, can we convert like forcefully, like narrowing conversion? Just see. Tell me whether it is possible. Can you convert into a by casting? Is it possible? Yes or no? Tell me quickly.
No,
Sorry?
no.
No. Yes. Yes, from Boolean to byte, short, in long, you will get an compile error. Right. Okay, now let's try out whether if we convert this Boolean variable into a byte. Now, if you try to do the narrowing conversion, right now, whether is it possible? Right now, you can say incompatible types. Boolean cannot be converted to byte. So that cannot be done. Therefore, cannot. Right. Now, let's say string variables now. Okay, Boolean to float also will try. It is also not. Right now, if we try to convert into a float to double, that also not possible. You'll get an error that cannot be done. Right now, from integers to or the reverse of it, any data type to a Boolean, that is also not, because a Boolean contains true or false values. Therefore, that cannot be converted from numerical type to a Boolean. Right. Now, okay, that is done. Right now, string types. String to a byte variable. Right now, string to a byte variable or integer to a string data type to other data types. Is it possible? Right now, a string to an integer. Can you do that? Just doing the casting. Can you do it? Now try out quickly. If you have a string variable, if you want to convert to a string data type to a number, right now, let's say a string variable contains 1, 2, 3. Okay, now there's a variable called string. String s equals 1, 2, 3. And I wanted to convert. Right now, 1, 2, 3 cannot be stored like this, no? Right? Now I want to assign it to an integer variable or a byte variable. Let's say integer for the time being, integer I. Then if I try to do it like integer s, and if I try to do it, what will happen? Now it says string cannot be converted to an integer. Yes, string data type directly cannot be converted to a string. Sorry, string cannot be converted to an integer as well. So they're using casting that you can't do, but there are some methods that you can do. Then this is a different. Now this is not under the casting. Right now, if you want to convert a string to a string to a number or a string to a number, right now, how can you do that? Right now, right now, if you want to convert a string to a number, how can you do that? Any idea? Now, string variable contains 1, 2, 3. Then we could use, if you want to convert this one into a number, how can we do it? Anyone? Right now, if you want to convert integer value to a string value to an integer, then you have to call the specific method which is declared inside the integer class. Then you have to say integer. Now you want to call a method available into the integer class. So there is a class called predefined or class called integer. Then there's a method inside the integer class, pass integer.parseInt, and here you need to pass the variable s. Then it will return the integer value. Right now you can see it gives us the integer value as 1, 2, 3. By any chance, if it is 1, 2, 3 ABC or something, now this cannot be converted to a number, right? So it will give us an error number format exception. Because if you really want to convert a string to a integer, then you need to use this integer.parseInt. Integer.parseInt. Right now, integer.parseInt method you have to use if you want to convert into a string. Right now, if you want to convert now into a byte value to a byte method, string to a byte, then you have to call by byte.parse byte. Byte.parseByte. And if you want to convert short to a byte value, and then you need to call by short.parseShort and long.parseLong, float.parseFloat, double.parseDouble. Likewise, you need to do it. Right now, let's try out if we have true declared inside a variable. Right now, if you have Boolean variable, Boolean B, and if you want to convert into a Boolean now, right now, how can you do that? Then it has to be Boolean. Inside the class Boolean, we need to call from the class Boolean, we need to convert. Then how can you do that? Do we have, what do you think, Boolean.parseBoolean? Shall you try out that? whether it is available. B double O Boolean Boolean dot pass. Right now we need to convert it to Boolean. Right, pass Boolean, and let's print the B. B, yes. Byte dot pass byte. Right here. Right now you can convert it to a string. Right now, remember, these are predefined methods available. Pass method is predefined methods. Therefore, pass in, pass byte, pass short, pass long, pass double, pass float, pass double. Likewise, you have the methods available. When you have to convert string to a other types, you could do it. Now, this is not casting. Right. Now, any chance if it is not true, if it is false, now what happens? Now it get converted to a false. Right now, if it is ABC, will it give us an error? Try out and tell me. Will it give us an error, or will it get converted to true, or will it get converted to a false? Try out and tell me quickly. If the string contains true, you know it get converted to true. If the string contains false, it get converted to false. But if string variable contains something else, what happens? What happens? Then tell me quickly.
Gives the answer as false.
Yes, exactly right now. If it is true, it would give you true. If it is false, it would give you false. But if it is something else, it will give you false. Therefore, no matter what you have, if it is except true, right now, if it is capital true, right, just try out capital true and tell me.
Answer is true with the simple T.
If it is capital T true, what happens? Let's say I'm gonna have it like this, true. Right now, will it be? Yes, no matter it is case insensitive, right? Therefore, if you want, you can have small note. When you convert using Boolean dot parse Boolean, it is case insensitive. If you have true as a string, it get converted to a Boolean true. If it is anything else, it get converted to a false. It get converted to a false. Therefore, that is what you need to remember. Right now, this is what we discuss about type conversion and how you convert string to other types as well. Right now, one of the methods right now we have just discussed, parse method. Right now, thereafter, we need to know right now how to take the user inputs from the user inputs from the user. Right now, how to take inputs from the user. Right. So. Right now, how to convert, right. Okay, right now, let's say what will happen, right now, let me have this, mm, 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 mm. Okay, byte b equals 42 charge equals a short equals 1024 and right now, what I'm gonna do is, I want to print, let's say f multiplied by b, f multiplied by b, f multiplied by b, okay, plus I divided by c, okay, let's put the brackets, f multiplied by b, plus I divided by c, minus d multiplied by s. Right, now I want you to figure out and tell me whether is this possible. If it is possible, right now, each time when you multiply these two, what is the result? What is the type? What is the result? What is the type? What is the result? What is the type? Which one happens first? Which one next? Likewise, the final answer. First, try to do it by yourself manually, and then you can try it up. Right. Okay, do it out quickly. Right now, thereafter, we're going to talk about how to get the user inputs from the user. Okay. Okay. Right. Right now, okay. One of you has sent me the answer. Right now, let's see. but not the one I am expected to get. Right now, it gives us 626.778 for something. Right now, let's figure it out how you get to this number. Because now we have byte chart, short, int, float, double. Right now, multiple data types. Then this is about. I think if you can remember, very first day we have discussed about data type promotion. Right now, when you multiply it by an integer with an integer, it answer is integer. When you divide integer with an integer, answer is an integer. Likewise, we discuss about data type promotion. And when you multiply integer with float, it gets a float likewise. So let's see what's gonna happen. F into B. This is float into byte. Now float into byte get converted to a byte or float, right? Floating points. Therefore, 5.67 into 42, it has to be what? Right now, let's try out 5.67 into 42. 238.14 float. Right now, this has to be 238.14. Right, you know it's a decimal number, right? It's float now. And then plus I divided by z. I is an integer. 50,000. It seems. 5 4 zeros, right? Yes, 50,000 divided by C. C is a character. Cha is a character. Now you know the character of the capital simple A. Simple A. What is the ASCII value of simple A? Can someone quickly tell me? Capital.
97.
Sorry.
97.
Okay, 97. Then thank you. 50,000 divided by 97. Now this has to be an integer answer. Right, though it has decimal answers, this would be treated because integer divided by an integer would be an integer, right? Integer divided by byte actually. Right now, integer divided by char, right? Then it's gonna be an integer. Then it's gonna be 515, which is integer value, which is an integer because integer division, integer divided by an integer. It's gonna be an integer, right? Therefore, you won't get the decimal values, right? Then minus what we have to do, D into S. D is a double answer. Double into S. S is a short, like double into short. Obviously, it's gonna be double answer. Right now, it's gonna be 0.1234 multiplied by short is 1024. Right, 126.3616, 126.3616, right? So now we have to add up these numbers. So what you have to do, 238.14 plus 505 minus 126.3616. 6267784 right now because okay, now what is the answer? This is float, this is integer, this is double. Float, integer, double. Then we have the answers like float, integer, double. Therefore, answer would be represented in double format. Then you will the answer should be 6.6 to 6.7784. Since it is the double, we have lost the precision of some numbers. Then we have this extra as well. Therefore, it has to be 6 to 6.7784 something, right? This is how the type promotion happens right now. The type promotion happens right now. Let's do this quickly. Right now, when it comes to a right now, when you need to take the inputs from the user, when you need to take inputs from the user, right? We could use like now, if you want to print something, we use system.out.print, right? We use system.out.print. Right now, likewise, if you want to print something, right now you could use system.in.read method. Right now, we write system.out.println, right? Print method, system.out.print. That is what you use to print something to the console. Then if you want to get something from the user also as a counterpart, we could use system.in.read method as well. But system.in.read is a very lower level method because and it could read only a it could read only an X byte available, and then it returns as an integer value. It can read only next byte. It can read only an X byte. So it means it can read only one character input. And once you enter the once you hit the enter, right now it triggers, and then it will return the ASCII code as an integer. Right now, let's see how can you do it. Right now, we will ask input something. We will ask user to say input. We will ask user to say input. Right. Now, if you say system dot in dot read method, system dot in dot read method can read the next byte and it returns as an integer value. So let me assign into an integer input equals this, and then I'm gonna print this. Right now, let's print out. Okay, let's integer in. Let's say I. It's easier, no? Right. Right now, let's try to print the I variable value. Right now, when you try to do that, here you will get an error because this method, it's very low level method. Therefore, this method may throw an exception. Therefore, you have to either put it inside, you need to handle the exceptions, or you need to declare this method may throw an exception. Therefore, since we don't know how to handle the exceptions using try-catch blocks, now we're going to learn in future. So for the time being, we will declare this method may throw an exception. So we can use the keyword throws an exception. Therefore, we're going to say this method may throw an exception. We declare this method may throw an exception. Then this method will throw an exception. Right, if I enter 1, it gives us 49. If I enter A, it gives us 69. If I enter B, capital B, and 66, if I enter capital A, 97. If I enter 2 letters A, B, C, it just it reads only one byte. Therefore, it reads the next byte available. It triggers once you hit the enter key. It triggers once you hit the enter key, and then it returns the ASCII value. It returns the ASCII value of it. It returns the ASCII value of it. So that's why it gives you this answer. Right now, if you want to print the the character as well, if you want to print the character as well, character itself, you could convert it to a char, and then we could convert it to a C, and I get printed 65A. If it is simple A, 97 1. And if it is plus, it would say 43. That is the ASCII value with regards to 43. Right now, if it is at sign, right now, the ASCII value with regards to at sign is 64. Right now, if it is the dot you want, the ASCII value is 46. Likewise, you can write a program if you wish to figure out what is the ASCII value of each character available in the keyboard, then you could do it using this method. Right now, the concern is here, system.in.read method can read only the next byte, and it returns as an integer the ASCII value of the character it took. It can read only one character at a time. It can read only one character at a time, and then the ASCII value of that particular character returns as an integer value. That is how the system.in.read method works. System.in.read method reads a byte from the standard input stream. Right? It will read the byte from the standard input stream, and then it returns the ASCII value of the the character taken. It will read the ASCII value of the character in integer format. It will return as an integer representing the ASCII value of the character it read. Right now, this is how, and remember that it can read only one value at a time. It can read only one value at a time. The system.in.read method can read only one value at a time. Right. Now this is the limitation is it can read only one single byte at a time, and then it returns ASCII value of the byte of whatever the value it has read in the integer format. Therefore, it will wait until user hit the enter key. Even though multiple characters were entered, it won't consider those, because even, let's say, if it is capital A and other whatever you have entered, it will ignore, and then it will take only the first character, which is capital A, and now it will display 65. Right, now see, therefore it can read only the next byte. That means it will read only a character, and then it will return in integer format representing the ASCII value of the character it has read. Now this is how you could use system.in.read method. Okay, quickly try out. And thereafter, since this is not practical, this cannot be used for our day-to-day activities, we are not going to use this system.in.read. I just showed you this one because as a system.out.print, system.out.print is used to print something. The same way, if you want to take something, you could have used system.in.read. Okay, quickly take, I will give you 2 minutes time, quickly try out this, and thereafter, we will try how to use another method to take the inputs from the user. In.read method takes only next it read only one byte or only one character at a time, and it returns an integer value representing the ASCII value of the character it has read. So then we can't do this, right? So if you need to get user inputs, we're gonna go ahead with there is a class called scanner. We're gonna use the scanner class to take the user inputs. Right now, the scanner class is inside right now a different package. Now it is inside the different package. Now I have to mention in order to get the user inputs, I have to use the scanner class. Then the scanner class is inside a different package inside the utilities. Right. So I need to mention, because it is not in the same place, I need to mention, I need to import java.utilities.scan. Right. I want to import the scanner class. Right now, since I'm importing, now this line is a must. Remember, this is a must. We are importing java.util. From there, we're going to import the scanner class. Right now, this is an inbuilt method, right? Inbuilt, not a method, inbuilt class. Then we're going to use this scanner class used to get the inputs, and it is found inside the java.util package. Right, now in order to use this class, now this is a class, right? So we need to create an object. Then how to create an object and everything we're gonna again discuss later on. For the time being, now I want to create a scanner class object. Then I need to declare a variable to store the object. I need to declare the variable to store the object. Now for an example, right now, see, if I want to create an object, then that has to be the same type of the whatever the class. So the data type has to be the same. So I need to mention it as scan, because scanner is the class name. Therefore, that type. You can have any name. You can have any name to declare the variable. Right now, this is just you declare the variable. Type is scanner, that is the class name, scanner type. Variable name is my scanner. Then using the new keyword, you're going to create a new instance of the new object initialized by calling the scanner constructor, right? New scanner, and there you need to pass, right? Which stream you're going to take. Now we're going to read from the system.in. We are taking the inputs from the system.in stream. We're going to take the inputs from the system.in stream. Right now, here, you can ask user to enter the name, let's say. Right now, here, if you want to take an input, if you want to take a string variable, right now, let's say string. Okay, you're going to ask user to enter the first name. Right now, what is your first name? Right now, in order to take a name, right now, let's say I'm declaring a variable called fname. String fname is equals to, right now, we need to use the scanner object you created to read the values. Then you use the myscanner is the very object name we have declared, myscanner dot. Then there's a method called next. There's a method called next. If you use the next method, you would be able to read what user has entered, and the next method will return a string value. Now this would reads a string value. This would read a string value. Right, now let's try it out whether what does it work, how does it work. First name. Right now, okay, now here let's say Jane. Now it prints the Jane. Right now, if I type Jane space do, right now you can see that do part won't take. Right now, here, if I have any spaces, then after the space, it won't read. If I have any spaces, it won't read after the space. Therefore, the read a string value only until it reaches the first space, right? Therefore, scan next method reads only. Now you need to write down, okay. The next method reads only up to the first white space, right? Only up to the first white space. Then there's another one, right? Now, if you want to take the entire string, what user has entered, right now, I'm gonna make this as a comment. Then if you want to read the entire line, there's a method called next line. Right now, the next line method takes in anything. Right now, if you type just Jane, it would take just Jane. If you type Jane space do space let's say Fernando, whatever, and then some other name. Right now, whatever user has entered, and it will take all the values user has entered. Right? See. So now this will read the entire line. The next line method would read the entire line. Right now, if user wants to read, if user wants to get a number, if user wants to get a number, let's say if user wants to read a number, if user wants to read a number, then user has to use, let's say I want to read an integer number. If user wants to read an integer number, now user has to use next int reads an integer. Right now, this would read an integer. Right now, if you enter a number, that would read it as an integer. Right, if you enter text, now it will give us an error because the next method is used to take a number. Next method is used to take a number, but you have entered some other input. So, if you enter a number, that would read it as an integer. Right now, here, what has happened now? Right now, let's see. Right now, okay. Right now, here, if you type a big number, what's gonna happen? Right now, because it cannot for the input string. Right now, you can see now it's a large number you have entered. So for an integer, it cannot recognize it as an integer. large number for integer variable. That's why it gives you an error right now. Other than that, it will work out. Right. Now this is how you can read an integer. Right. Okay, if you want to read a byte variable, right? If you want to read a byte variable, it's just right. If you want to read a byte variable, you need to mention next byte. Right. You can read a byte variable. Read a byte. Right now, if it is, let's say, byte number, right? What does it say? My scanner next byte. Okay, this has to be commented, no? Yes. Right now, 5 you can take, 120 you can take, but 127 you can take, 128 if you mention cannot be hold inside the byte variable, so you will get an error input mismatch exception. Now, this is how you read a byte. Right now, this is how you read a byte, and then if you want to read a short variable, you can now you know that already. Now you can make a guess. It has to be scanner.next short. And if you want to read integer variable, that you could do in byte short integer. Read a byte, read a short, read an integer, and you can try out now. And if you want to read a long variable, then it has to be a next long and read a long variable. Right now, likewise, if you want to read a float or double, you can have a float, then next float, then this would read a float. And if you want to read a double variable, and then the method has to be next double, and that would read a double variable. Right now, if you want to read a character, that is not possible. Now, string can read by next method and next line method. Integers can read by next byte, next short, next int, next long. Float can read by flow, next float. Double can read by next double. And if you want to read a Boolean variable, that is also possible. Right now, you can have, okay, let's try out that. You can have the Boolean flag, let's say. Boolean flag variable is equals to next Boolean. Right now, you can make Boolean and read a Boolean. Right now, if you print the flag variable, that would read the Boolean value it has, right? Let's try out. Now, if I enter a number, now I will get an error saying input mismatch. If I enter true, that would read it as true. If I enter false, that would read it as false. If I enter something else, then it would give us an error input mismatch. Right now, what you have to remember is if you want to get a user inputs, these are the methods you have to use. Now, my question is quickly try out and send me. Get the user details, username, user age. Likewise, I want you to use all the methods right now. Use all the methods to take and all the methods to take the inputs from the user. Right now, let's say okay, now I want you to write a program to take the name as a string, age as an integer right now. Name, first name, and full name. Right, age, GPA, grade, recent role, gender, height in meters, number of courses, student ID. Right, okay. Now we have all the types, right? Take all these details and then send it to me via chat in the WhatsApp group. How you take those inputs from the user. Right now, take this as a screenshot and then send me the answer via WhatsApp group, and then make sure you have the answers when you're coming the next day. Right. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any questions, quickly ask.